Pardon me. What's up, everybody? Gavin here with NBA Real Talk. We're going to talk about what happened last night between the Toronto Raptors and the Miami Heat. Now, we all know Miami won. They won it in overtime. I believe the score was 120 to 110. Anyways, the score doesn't matter. What really matters is the way people have been overreacting to what Kyle Lowry did last night. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kyle Lowry's been injured for maybe about a month or so. He had a little fracture in his thumb. Before he went out with injury, he was absolutely balling. We were doing just fine. He went out with injury. We had to dig into our bench, dig into our depth, found out we have a lot of good guys on the bench. We have great depth. And then he comes back a month later, has a bad game, and everyone is just throwing an absolute hissy fit over it. I can't believe some of the videos and some of the articles I'm reading today. It says Raptors need to trade Kyle Lowry, or Kyle Lowry needs to be eased back in off the bench, and there's no rush to bring him back, and things of that nature. And this is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Now, let's keep a few things in mind here, okay? I had this chalked up pretty much. I wouldn't say I had chalked it up to a loss, but I anticipated it was a good chance the Raps were going to lose this game before it even started. A, they're on a 6 or 7 game winning streak. B, they have that crazy divisional streak at home where they've won like 32, 33, 34 straight games against divisional opponents at home. Bottom line is the Raps, they're a great team. They're an awesome team. They're not an all-time elite team. So when they've won 6 or 7 games in a row, you know that they're due for a loss. And I had this one chalked up when I saw Miami was who they're going to be playing on Tuesday. I thought, you know what? There's a good chance they lose that game. And guess what? Even though it was a close game all the way through, we were never in that game. Coach Nurse, in his interview, said, if there wasn't a little score clock at the bottom of the screen, I would have thought we were down 35. And here they were up 1 point with less than a minute to go before Miami tied it to take it into overtime. So people need to just realize that, we were probably due for a loss. We had a few rough shooting games leading up to this, but we managed to pull out victories. We were due for a game where we just couldn't hit shots and just couldn't win the game, okay? And Kyle Lowry, in his first game back, had a rough time, okay? There's no disguising that. He shot 2 of 18, 0 for 10 or 0 for 11 from his three-point shot was non-existent. All his points came at the foul line and off a couple layups. But the bottom line is everyone's making this huge fuss about it, acting like it's the end of the world, and he came in and he disrupted this flow of the young guys and what they had going on, and Kyle Lowry needs to come off the bench and they need to start Norman Powell at the shooting guard and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, hold the phone, okay? You people are crazy, okay? Less than 6 months ago, Kyle Lowry was literally winning us a championship in Game 6 playing the way he played last night. Okay, what you want to make sure of is that your main guys, your veteran guys like Lowry, they play the right way, all right, and they stay aggressive, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Kyle Lowry was not hitting his shot for nothing last night. And towards the end, he was kind of just hucking up his threes. When we were down, somebody had to shoot them, and he was the open guy. He just couldn't hit one. Nobody could hit one. I don't have the stats in front of me, but aside from Norman Powell, who had a great game last night, I'm pretty sure Pascal Siakam was 5 of 14. Okay, and I know people said, "Oh, well, Lowry came in and disrupted the flow." If Pascal Siakam only took 14 shots, it's because he was not establishing himself and he was not being aggressive enough. Okay, he did not take over that game at any point. And hey, that's okay. We're not going to sit here and act like Pascal just showed us he's not ready and he took a step back last night. We're not going to overreact to anything. And keep in mind, before the injury, Kyle Lowry was absolutely balling. Okay, and I anticipate he's going to be balling again. And sometime 10 or 20 games from now when he's doing great, guess what? He's going to have another game like this where he just can't hit his shot. That's what happens in the NBA. You live and you roll with your guns in the NBA. That's what I think people don't get. They say, why would they disrupt what we had going on with the bench and with these depth guys that we had filling in? It's because in the NBA, you roll with your guns. I believe the Raps shot 11 for 43 from 3 last night. Okay, and guess what? They're still going to shoot 30 or 43s the next game, and the game after that, and the game after that. Why? Because you roll, you live and die with your 3-ball. You roll with your guns. And Kyle Lowry, any other game where he's having a horrible game like that, you're acting like you still wouldn't want him taking those shots. He's hit those shots time and time again. It's not a respect thing or a give him the opportunity, but he literally has earned the right to miss those shots because he's made them so many times before. I was texting with a friend during the game. He said, God, Nurse needs to take Lowry. I admit, playing him 41 minutes last night seemed a bit suspect. His box score numbers weren't bad. I mean, 12. He had 12 points, maybe 8, 10 assists, somewhere around there. It's just he horrible, just couldn't hit a shot. And my buddy was saying, why is Coach Nurse leaving him in there? You know, he can't hit a shot. It's like, you leave him in there because somewhere down the road, no one else is going to be able to hit a shot. And as usual, Kyle Lowry will be the guy hitting the shot. He just wasn't that guy last night. So everybody just calm down, all right? Take a deep breath. Everything's fine. It was too good to last forever, all right? It all had to come to an end. If anything, we should be taking a lot of positives away from this game because we did not have a good game. It was kind of a bit of a defensive back and forth anyway, even with the score ended up being 120 to 110. That was with overtime. It was a pretty defensive matchup, even though Miami was hitting its threes way better than us. And basically, we showed that, hey, we can stay in the game having a pretty bad game. You know what I mean? So basically, just, you know, like I said, say it again, everybody just calm down. Kyle Lowry's fine. Everything's going to be fine. We got to roll with these veterans, okay? Because even though our bench and these young guys, they've been overachieving, they've been doing great, and I expect big things from them, but history has proven that you got to roll with your veterans, all right? When push comes to shove, when it goes playoff mode, okay? Don't get me wrong, I'd love for these guys to prove me wrong, and I'm sure some of them will, but you can't rely on these young guys and these rookies and these depth bench guys to fill in the way they've been filling in so far, okay? It'll be great if they do. They've shown that we're a deep team, but as soon as your veterans are back and they're healthy, you gotta roll with them, all right? A guy like Kyle Lowry better suck horribly for a month straight before you think about taking him out the starting lineup or trading him or whatever else people were talking about today. Just an utter overreaction to the whole situation. And I look forward to us all moving past this and just pushing forward to the next game. So anyways, this has been Gavin, NBA Real Talk, signing out. I'll see you next time.